The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma, trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
No Way Home with several seconds of extra footage.
Oh, okay.
It was. Don't you know anything about?
It's our out of context moment.
Third time? Re-released it a third time?
Wait. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
No, we won't.
That other voice you hear is the backbone, the pillar, the strength, the Fantastic Forum, our nine-vulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
They released it a third time?
There it is. And that's for myself. My name is Lauren Chung. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today because we're going to be talking to you all about the Lord of the Rings of Power, the Amazon series, and we're going to be talking about Batman, One Bad Day, the Riddler #1, and Amazing Fantasy 1000. So we got all that plus whatever else it is that you all want to talk about in just a moment. But first, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this whole show would not have happened. So thank you very much, Scott Rubin. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, if you want to get down with Fantastic Forum, we got a few different ways you can do it. Here's how.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
FantasticForum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Thank you, intern. Appreciate your hard work. So, yeah. Also, hit us in chat. You can go ahead and hit us in the YouTube chat if you're watching us there, or if you're watching us in Twitch. Please feel free to just put your missives into chat, and we'll bring it into the show when appropriate. So, or sometimes when inappropriate, because we do that. So anyway,
Your missives.
Missives, yes.
That's the wrong term. Like, if they sub to us, does that make them our submissives?
That's a good way of eloquating it, Oz.
Indeed. Maybe it would be better if I said musings, but missives.
No,
I like the submissives.
It might
I
not.
didn't like that
amusing.
episode of Sandman.
Wait, what?
I didn't like that episode of Sandman.
Got you. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. So anyway, Oz, you were saying re-release of One More Day?
No Way Home.
That's what I said.
I forget. You don't know Marvel at all.
No, I'm like Marvel. That's like you mean like Captain Marvel, like Shazam.
Them.
Yeah, love that guy. No, but what about it? I didn't know they did a re-release. When did that happen?
They put it out. They changed after the post-credit scene, because remember the original was a trailer for Multiverse of Madness. And like there's just extended scenes, like the Parker bonding scenes are longer. What's dude's name? Not Tobey Maguire, not Tom Holland. Garfield.
Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, he like asked Tobey Maguire to see his holes.
To see his what? His hose?
From where the web, because they have that organic webbing conversation.
Oh, got you. Okay. Oh. So
There-
when
there's-
is it getting released?
it's already out. I thought it's like #1 over the holiday weekend.
Shut up! Are you serious?
They straight up
Either,
Morbius.
either that or Top Gun. Like one was #1, the other one was #2.
Top Gun, man. Sheesh. Top Gun's making a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, well, look, they're not getting boycotted in the red states.
Oh, wait, who's getting boycotted in the red states?
Nah, there's no wokeness, no nothing in that in Top Gun. So I'm sure it's doing really well in the South and all
There's
that.
a little gayness.
I mean, it's all gayness, but they don't see it.
I mean, they don't play volleyball, but they're still
Yeah.
playing around in the beach.
Like, to them, they didn't think Deliverance was woke. They're like, oh, this is a documentary.
Oh, okay.
You never seen Deliverance, Larry, with the butt fucking? The guy avenges his friends for getting butt fucked.
I don't think I have seen it actually.
It's too scary.
Larry, I'm done with you. In the words of Joe.
Did Joe say that?
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, cool. So earlier, Mo, you put into the group chat a little bit of drama going on in the world of comics, like not on the pages, but in real life, or well, I guess on social media. So I guess that's not real life technically. But you want to tell us what you came across and what has happened since?
Well, it's just that people are fighting. Like, there's nothing to do. I expected this shit during the quarantine, but no, it's happening now. People should be working.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're fighting, and Jason Pearson basically diminished Afua. I'm saying Richardson. I don't know her name fully. I've seen her work. I just never really, I'm not saying I'm a fan. You know what I mean? But from what I've seen that she's done, I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that cover. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he basically diminished her work and says that she's never paid her dues and got her start in comics because of her looks, kind of misogynistic, kind of a-holy, kind of like a typical Wednesday night here at Fantastic Forum.
Not for me.
Yeah, sometimes 75%, sometimes 25%, never 100%. But yeah, and they're fighting, and people are chiming in. It turned into this whole vetting conversation where it's like, who vets who vets what is vetting, like what vetting, like what do you need to be vetted for? Like, if you got a good portfolio, like what's the and everybody's like, Jason Pearson's getting defended and shit on by people in his friends list because of how he chose to act on it. And then he tried to apologize, but his apology was like half-assed. And the people that called him out on it being half-assed misspelled assed. And it's a whole thing. Yeah, I like that whole. It's like looking into a mirror. And then other professionals are chiming in and they're fighting and surprise, people who you've never heard their name in about the last 10 years or so are kind of defending them, and people who you've heard them for the last 30 across all genders and walks of life are saying, dude, relax. Like,
right. My guy.
There's another segment like me and Jason Pearson's comments saying, hey, where's my body bags? Kickstarter bundle that I funded in 2018.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. It's like, I mean, he's over here talking about how people are taking the work and everything, and it's like, dude, people paid you for your work, and it's still not here yet. And by people, I like to say me, but I got a refund. So.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. I could PayPal. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They give you like insurance, especially back then. But it's just like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I look, I miss I can be as misogynistic as the next guy, but I mean, look, am I drawing covers? Can I draw a fucking cover? Have I been doing it for the last years, claiming to be a professional? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me. It's like Jason Pearson. I love him, and we became friends online during one of his suicide attempts, and since then, you know, I've been supportive of his work. I'm like, I like Body Bags when I was in high school. I liked his work from Marvel back in the day. And you know, was it Shogun Studios or whatever, like the little collective they had back then with I think Dave Johnson was in the Snakebite, all those dudes. Love all that stuff. But yeah, it's like you know, I want him to work. I want him to make comics. Like have a draw off. 24-hour comic book day off Richard Pearson. You know, and that's I mean, you talk about like when Marv Wolfman talks about Superman, like why Superman became a journalist, and it's because what he could do that he could with other people, and this is it. This is like gender don't mean nothing if you do a draw off for 24 hours live on fantasticforum.live. It's the fight of the ages. So you know, like imagine having the webcam on these dudes drawing, and by dudes I mean this lady and this guy, and drawing like I'm all for equality, Larry. I call my mother dude, you know.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and having them draw off like a full like 22-page story, you know, just the pencils, even layouts, just the layouts.
I'm not having this dude on to draw nothing that's not the comic book that he promised the people. Like they haven't gotten a refund yet. Like if you don't come on, you gonna draw that book.
I had that 24-hour comic draw off all laid out in my head, except how to judge it. Because I'm like, I already know I love them both. So here, you know, like it's comics. It's fucking comics. There's all sorts of comics. There's all sorts of art, and there's all sorts of ways. Look, I didn't hear Jason Pearson talk about when Brian Wood was fucking trying to fuck these girls that were trying to get into the comic industry. Fuck, I didn't hear anybody come to talk about that. You know, like it's just the victim, you know. And over here, he's talking about vetting, about Neil Adams vetting me. Neil Adams, like, what you did to Neil Adams, that's on you, man. He could have beaten me.
Wait, are you saying he gave Neil Adams some sort of sexual favors? Is that what we're trying to do? I don't know what
vetting is. I don't know why you need to vet I don't know why some guy at an artist alley table needs to vet somebody to get in. You know? Yeah. I've been vetted today by David Johnson, one of my favorite artists. He says, look, all this talk about vetting, hey, anybody needs to be vetted, just show me your work. Everybody just do stick figures. Hey Dave, can I work? Yeah, sure. Come work at my comic book company. You can work in comics. So I'm vetted by Dave Johnson.
It's like you're in.
It's a weird thing. Eddie D'Angelini, who we talked to at Long Beach Comic Con, video coming soon, click up here. He said his thing is like, you know, I've been vetted too, and you know, I've been working on my webcomic for 10 years, made it a business. So it's like the vetting I did was the 10 hours a day it takes me to make my weekly webcomic. So and that's
he jumped in there too?
No, he did it on his own page, on the collector's page. And
got you.
Yeah, so but that's it. Like I'm like, yeah, Eddie, class dude, and he just said it real. It's like I don't need vetting. Like I'm doing my thing, making a living at it, and you know, getting what I can out of it. And look, maybe Body Bags Don't Die Till They Kill You should be a webcomic. Maybe it'll come out.
Yeah, man. It's wild to watch just because, you know, this does happen every so often, but it's really interesting because I feel like a lot of the time, especially in the past, when you see some of these like social media discussions with comic book creators, a lot of the time it might be something that maybe is like tangentially related to comics, but it might just be like, or it will quickly devolve like away from comics into something either like more political or more cultural. And this was, I feel, unique in a way because this was actually like comic book industry folks having a disagreement about comic book industry stuff. and it kind of stayed there, and still touched upon cultural issues because it talks about things like misogyny and racism and all that kind of stuff. But
all the white people in control are reading that beating off, watching Jason Pearson fight Phil Richardson on the internet.
It's wild, man. Like Oz, Jay, I don't know if you all want to chime in at all. I don't know how much y'all got to see or didn't.
It was just a weird thing because I read his post first, and as I was reading, I was thinking, oh, he's talking about somebody. This is like their first cover or something like that. And then as you start to read like the responses, right, and you're like, wait, she's been doing this for 17 years. Like,
I know, right? he's like newbie to me. I've been in 30. She's like, well, I was 10.
I understand, like, you've been in the industry twice as long as this person, but 17 years is still like, come on, like, almost banging.
Still 17 years.
Yeah, you're just 1 year away from legal. And yeah, it's just like the more then you start like looking at her art, her covers, and all that, and like the more you actually look into this artist, the more wrong he is.
Yeah,
like even let's say her look. Let's say she's been in the industry 5 years, and yeah, she got in because she's attractive or whatever. She's still producing really good art, and she's doing covers that people that have been in the industry as long as Jason Pearson, right?
Yeah,
Peterson for some. People that have been in the industry as long as Pearson, like, wish they could do covers as good as some of what she does. So it's not like it's somebody that just literally got in for their looks and isn't really talented. It's just like passable. She's got skills, and on top of that, now you throw in the fact that she has been in the industry for 17 years.
Yeah.
To me, this whole vetting thing, like, show me your portfolio. Let me see what you can do. That's all I need. I don't need Jim Lee to come down and do you're a comic book artist now or anything like that.
Like it's a knighting ceremony.
Oddly enough, we do have an anecdote that you can see if you subscribe on our channel here. You'll see it in the coming days or so, of a guy that got hired by Rob Liefeld just because I hate my job, and Rob's like, "What can you do?" All right, here, write our press releases, and that's how he got at Awesome Studios. Like, we got to
as long as the person has talent, is consistent, and can put it out in on a timetable. That's all you need.
And here's the thing: the problem I have with Jason Pearson's thing isn't like he's attacking this young artist that my shit goes a whole different way, because everybody's like, man, I'm done with this. I'm done. And they keep chiming in, they keep fighting in. And it's like they're getting all this attention by talking. And it's like, this is what's wrong with society. This is why I agree with Thanos and Endgame. It's like, destroy everything, because you fuckers should be fucking drawing instead of fucking fighting on fucking Facebook. And, my interest in this, watching this, because for me, it's like, it is because, I've gone through my shit. Larry, you've seen me go through some shit. Oz, you've seen me go through some shit. Jay, you've seen me go through some shit. You won't be able to know what I'm going through because of my fucking Twitter. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, Jason Pearson wants to act like a man. A man doesn't cry on Twitter or Facebook about your fucking problems, about life being easier for pretty people. That's a fucking problem across the board, Jason Pearson. It's not just the fucking comics. You want to act like change society and make a comment that can maybe 500 years from now they'll call you, oh, he is the social political aspect of Jason Pearson and the looks issue in advancement in life. Guess what? It ain't fun if you're not doing comics and you're ugly, Jason Pearson. It's everybody. it happens to everybody. And
it's
guess
wild.
What? We're all ugly at some point. You might start hot at your 13. By your 30, you hit the wall sometimes. Maybe 60, depending on what your workout regimen is. Like, we all hit the wall sometime, Jason Pearson.
I will say that it's interesting because there are people that were in his posts, like defending him, saying like, "Oh, hey, the guy's just speaking his mind about, like tourist type comic book artists, or people that only get into comics because they thought the movies were cool and all that kind of stuff, and they're not really like, they don't really want to be a part of the industry. They just want to be one of the cool kids, I guess, or something like that." But it's so wild because they're like, he's just speaking his mind. This has nothing to do with misogyny. And it's like, well, first of all, when's the last time you ever said a guy got in the comic book industry based on his looks? You know what I'm saying? Like that comment alone makes it misogyny, because it's like no one says that about men. So you're like, or at least I've never heard anybody say, something like that about men, where it's like, oh, they use their looks to get in or whatnot. It's like, and here's the thing. It's like, it doesn't even matter whether she was talented or not, which I agree. Richardson, I'm sorry, it's Richardson, right? Yeah, never mind. She's super talented. But even if she wasn't talented, it's like, so like there are a lot of mediocre male artists in comics. Like, deadlines need to be met, stuff needs to be produced. So it's like, like why would we hold a woman to a different standard than we're holding all these like mediocre dudes to? Like, but here's the thing. She's actually a superstar. Really.
I didn't know Devin Grayson was a chick.
Did you not?
No. Yeah. Usually I'm the one that knows. I know. I'm looking at him. Devin Grayson, I didn't know it was a woman. I thought it was a woman.
No, Devin Grayson is
Eric's question. Moses knows hot 13-year-olds. No, I used to be a hot 13-year-old. About 14, 16, then I turned into the shit you see here.
So, but yeah, it's wild, man. And like, I'm telling you, like this joint, like every time you think this is going to die down, another like luminary comes in and like it sparks back up again because it gets more eyes on it, because, the last one that I saw was Gail Simone, and, his response to her was, I don't even want to talk about it. It was crazy. But
you get screen capture?
I can just read it. Hold on. I'll read it, because I was just like,
a little music in the background. Jay,
no, I got it. Here it is. So Gail Simone jumped in and basically said, Jason has, well, actually, this is not the first thing she said, but this is the one that has the crazy response. I was just like, wow, like, okay. Jason has no goddamn idea what he's talking about. I knew both Afua Richardson and Devin Grayson before they broke in, and they both worked their tails off and made it on talent and hard work. Devin worked a full-time job, then came home and worked on submissions for 2 years via long-distance correspondence until she broke in with 2 short stories that were immediately showered with critical acclaim. She changed the way people wrote about Batman, and she did it in an often hostile and unwelcoming environment someone like Jason could not begin to imagine. And it says, Afua worked her way up endlessly, tabling at conventions, and writers like myself would kill to work with her. Jason, this is the most clueless and creepy thing I've seen on the internet in ages. And brother, that's saying something. And so,
what she mean?
Jason,
for real though, she comes across some really creepy shit.
Yeah, no, she's saying, and brother, that's saying something. Right. So, yeah.
Like, I've seen some of the shit she comes across. It's like,
well, there you go.
Yeah.
So, Jason Pearson response is, Gail Simone, you're funny. I earned my spot in this art game the hard way. A nigga with nothing but talent. You earned yours with talent and a little male chauvinism. the fact that you got mad about my post proves my point about how this industry is biased. And he says, Gail, by the way, woman, all I did was give a chick a little advice / criticism about this rough as hell comic book game, and you idiots overreact like Chernobyl. and it's crazy because it's just like, I don't understand how he can like just frame it that way from his perspective, because it's like, if I put up some art and if I put it on social media, obviously I'm putting up there for people to see.
Yeah.
And that leaves yourself open to criticism. No question on that. But, if you don't like my art and you just come by and be like, hey, that's trash, just so you know. And that's all you say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just come by like, oh, it's garbage. It's like how does that help me? Like, what I'm saying, like, it's like, it's like, it's not even like you have to mess around and there's nothing that you don't have to like go into any like deep life lessons. Like, your mother tells you, like, as a frig, as soon as you learn how to talk, like, if you don't have nothing nice to say, then maybe you just don't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like a baby lesson. So it's like, it's crazy.
As somebody who walks up and down Artist Alley and lets people know that their stuff is trash, I agree it's nice of me to give them the incentive to step up their game.
Right. You're their muse, right, Oz?
That's right.
That's it. So yeah, man, it's wild, and it's laced with a lot of negative stuff, man. I hope Jason Pearson, which, like, the sad fact is, like, I own like a good number of books that he's drawn, like, and I don't have any problem with his art. It doesn't surprise me that you don't have a lot of, there are not a lot of books coming from him or people like necessarily clamoring for his artwork right now. But at the same time, it's serviceable. But it's just like, man, like,
yeah,
the take is so crazy.
I don't know if he needs to get off of something or get on something, but something needs to change.
Yeah.
He's had mental health issues and stuff like that. Again, that's how we met. Somebody like posted, like, anybody that knows him, hit him up because he's not doing well, and I can't get a hold of him. And that I did because I knew him just from his work, not even from personal relationship. So I sent the message, and that's like, but I mean, look, he did a bunch of shit, like when Frank Frazetta, he talked about Frank Frazetta once, and he talked about how he's a racist. So I learned a lot of history through his eyes of like him trying to come up and people hold him down. And so I see why he's bitter, but you're like, you're already here. What the fuck? You're already here. Got through it. Like, there's no sense to be bitter. Doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody. And at least in this day and age, bitter, the last person that helps is yourself.
Yeah.
It's like Marcellus Wallace, where he's talking about ego. That pain you feel is ego. Like, it doesn't help. It just hurts, And
yeah.
It's like, hey, look, I'm gonna get into my important camera. Hold on.
You got an important camera?
If Body Bags Don't Die Till I Kill You would have won the Eisner Award, you would have had a better argument. But it ain't out.
I think that argument would still be trash. Are we stuck?
Better. I said better, not
yeah.
in the argument.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You did say better. Oh man.
Derek H says, "Ain't no one trying to ban Gail Simone." Shut up, Derek. You know you'd eat that.
his comment before that I thought was pretty funny though.
Then Liefeld get popular. Oh, this one. Yeah, then Liefeld get because he had a nice butt. Yeah, probably. But that's again, life is easier for beautiful people all around. Not just just not Miss Richardson.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, it's crazy because like she got accused of so much stuff by his people right off, like that, like as if she just came out the blue and was like, "Oh, how could you talk about me?" Like that was the story they were trying to tell, and I'm like, man, like it's tough, man, being a black woman and doing anything. It's like cats mess around and try to tear you down no matter what.
That's why I don't draw comics, man.
That's why it's hard, because it's hard for you as a black woman.
Yeah, as a black woman, Neil Adams told me trim my nails. How you gonna be drawing?
Oh Jesus!
I mean,
All right,
it's a smudging tool.
What are you gonna say, Jay?
I was gonna say, speaking of racism, I came across some H.P. Lovecraft info today. I found out he had a cat. Larry, do you want to know the name of his cat?
Look, now I'm afraid to. But sure. What's the name of his? No.
Yeah, his cat's name was Nigger Man.
Why?
Was it black?
I don't remember what color the cat was. But I just thought that was really racist.
I mean,
babe, we have to change the name of our cat.
Oh, see, Jesus, man, that's crazy.
Somebody had it first.
Why does it? Why would you want to name your cat that?
That's how much he loved saying the N word.
But why you put the man on it though?
Well, he's still gonna treat him better than the other N-word cat.
This fool said it's a boy cat. Oh jeez, that's crazy. Look, this is gonna be a weird transition, but do you want to talk about Black Flag comics too?
Yeah, sure.
Oh man, because I know
a little bit of drama too, man.
Yeah. So apparently, which I don't. The gentleman in the video is he one of the publishers over there at Black Flag Comics?
No, he's just an influencer. The one I sent you?
No, he's talking about the 6-minute wine fest.
Yeah.
Of oh, my girl cheated on me and left me right before our anniversary.
Yeah.
Wah,
See,
wah, wah.
Like when you put that.
Look, Jay, you call it a 6-minute wine fest. I call it a 4.5-minute wine fest, and 1 minute and a half saying, "Hey, Jason. Hey, Todd. Thanks for joining." Like this N-word. Straight up, did a minute and a half of acknowledging his audience before he starts crying about the bitch leaving them. Sorry,
it's just so bizarre.
A lot of aggression right there, Mo. A lot.
Hey, again,
I appreciate the self-edit. I heard it.
All this stuff here, like that we're talking about right now, is why I hate society. You know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit, and it's people worrying about bullshit instead of worrying about things that can help make a better world for everybody, and they're becoming part of the problem. And this is like it's like, again, you've seen me go through my troubles with women. I think maybe there's one tweet out there where I talk about a woman, and that's very early on.
I think this guy's woman leaving him and procreating with someone else is probably doing something better for mankind, because this guy, like, we're done with that. Wait,
so right? Is he the CEO or is he the what is his relation though to, like, to
Nothing. We just
Black
want to show you a
Flag.
video.
You.
Like,
That's
hey,
fair, I
fuck this
guess.
guy.
I think I guess from what I can gather, they did like webcasts together a lot, and so he's probably one of the. If he's not the CEO, he's a dude invested in there that's trying to he's like Clayton Crane used me to
Yeah.
yeah, and then I'm like, look, up until him fucking your woman, nobody knew what Black Flag Comics was.
That's hilarious. I don't think
It was
that
a
that's
Henry Rollins
true.
thing.
Nah, I'm talking about
But-
us.
I knew what
Yeah.
it was.
Oh, all right. Yeah, look,
I'm saying I thought it was a Henry Rollins thing. Like, I was
Yeah.
like,
Hilarious.
Henry Rollins
So-
has a comic?
Because we haven't said it yet, basically it was a video of an individual associated with Black Flag Comics whose wife got stolen by the artist Clayton Crane, and he decided to go on a
Allegedly.
video.
allegedly.
I look, I guess okay, well, she gone.
These hot comic
She definitely gone.
I'm from the mindset that it's like your woman doesn't leave you, you let her go. Like you push her away. There's something
It's like you
do.
should have locked that cage.
Yeah. you're doing your job and she still leaves, then that's a whole other problem. Look, that's a good riddance. You don't make no fucking 6-minute wine fest about that.
Yeah, he messed up when he let her wear shoes.
My issue
No.
is, why did he try to connect that to the shit that happened in Chicago?
Wait, did he try to make that connection, or was that Oz's video?
No, the guy in his video, he actually talks about the shit that went down in Chicago, and he's like, he basically saying that his wife leaving him was part of why that happened. And
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't understand that. Like, why does why does your wife leaving you mean you screw over your fans?
Oh, so this is really like a wag the dog type situation. Maybe he put this video out so people will be talking about that instead of people not getting the variants that they're supposed to get because they're passing them out to influencers.
Probably, yeah.
No, it all comes to now. I understand. I was like, "Why is Oz said to be this crazy video?" Like, I don't even understand what this has to do. I thought it was gonna be like,
I sent it because it was right after Jay, I think, said he didn't know how the company was ripping people off. I was like, well, this is kind of where it stems from, this controversy. That's why I sent that video, because
Right.
I wasn't gonna type all that nonsense up.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know who Black Flag is or anything. So he sent that video so I could, see what everything was about.
Get a primer.
And yeah, they were fucked up. Like,
yeah,
that is some bullshit.
that I would agree with.
I showed Larry my copy of Darkness 36, where the Darkness and Ripclaw are having a spirit journey. And 35 is a good one too, Jay. I know. I hear you clickety clacking, and like 30. You can't look at 36 without looking at 35. And
I was just gonna look
you
cover
know,
for the.
Jay, you were there at Long Beach Comic Con. Larry, you were there at Long Beach Comic Con. We saw a fucking amazing picture of Ripclaw. And,
We did.
And these panels in these two Darkness books are amazing drawings of Ripclaw along with the Darkness. And when you read those, you understand why that chick left that dude. That guy's not drawing.
Hey, I mean, come on. Clayton Crane is a good-looking dude. I can see why he's a comic book artist. I see how he got in the industry.
Is Clayton Crane a good-looking dude? I don't know what Clayton Crane looks like.
He didn't
He didn't get vetted.
He kind of looks like the dude from Soundgarden a little bit, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He looks like Mark Silvestri, but better.
Yeah, Mark Silvestri was a good.
Damn. It looks like I would hate for somebody to be like, they look like a better version of you.
Look, I'm telling you, these comic book artists are all hot. That's how you get in.
I hear that a lot when I used to go to auditions, and Jonah Hill won them.
Oh, jeez. Did y'all put up a picture of Clayton Crane?
No.
No.
Oh, hold on. I'll get one so people can see. Say what?
Jay put Darkness 35.
Oh, okay. Look, I got it. Hold on.
36, sorry.
You gotta put one where he doesn't have his hair tied back because he
All
ties
you're
it
doing-
back and looks goofy.
In chat,
Weird.
Derek says Moses is right. He says you can't what is it? Oh, hold on. Says you can't steal a woman. She decided to leave you.
There it is.
Or you fucked up and she.
Well, yeah, I mean, she
I
leaves.
told you, not with the hair. Like you gotta let those locks fly, man. That's like.
Oh, he has long hair too. Okay, sorry.
So, in other words, Derek says,
Totally stand with Moses.
There it is. As we all do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
now, right? You see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Right?
I see it.
Larry's
Look.
about to leave Nia.
Yeah, look, yeah, I'm gonna let him steal me.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Nia's gonna make a 6-minute celebration video.
Dang. Oh, it's rough. Wait, hold on. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I can't
I
wait.
remember when I told Larry, I asked Larry, you never seen Darkness 36? You never read Darkness 36? He goes, I think I have. No, you haven't. You haven't seen Ripclaw like this. Here, and I showed it to him. It's like, after seeing that picture, I want Emily to fuck Clinton Crane.
There you go. There you go. You got it's blowing in the wind. Everyone looked like
You're a horrible Googler of attractive men.
Thank you. I don't know what to say about that. Like I can't say I don't have a lot of experience. It's like hot dudes.
Derek Ancient chat, Stan Lee was a well-known pussy hound, which is like he literally like he was on a boat, like that's how he got his wife. He said, and he tells her, "I'm gonna marry you." Well, I'm already married. He's like, "It's okay," and then and that's it.
That's why he got called the man. Stan the man Lee.
Yeah, like no man to steal, no fastest man alive, none other, just the man.
The man.
Speaking of Stan the Man Lee, you guys watch Rick and Morty?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the Stan Lee cameo in Rick and Morty?
I don't remember seeing Stan Lee.
Oh, what the fuck, Larry? You didn't see it?
It's only the one episode, right?
Yeah. You didn't see it, Larry?
I'm not sure that I did.
Hasn't he been on there before?
What the fuck, Larry?
It was like they talk about the season finale, and it's like Stan Rick, like Stan Rick, like dressed like Stan Lee. It says, "Here, Rick believers, like watch the last episode."
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, was it the whatchamacallit? Was it the after credits thing?
No, it was like 10 minutes.
What?
I don't know how you can miss this.
The after credits thing was pretty cool, though.
I whatchamacallit.
Go
ahead.
Did I watch the after credits? Oh, it was with that one Rick and Jerry,
Cronenberg,
right?
Jerry.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be crazy. It's like the Legion of Doom with these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Did you guys share it?
No, nobody shared it.
Oh, you guys are all bad. You guys are horrible Google.
You gotta share it, yeah.
I mean, are we talking about? Well, look, I'll watch.
I'm not gonna play the video. I'm just
gonna wait, and this was in the last episode?
Yeah.
Like in the latest episode?
There's only been one, right?
Yeah, there's only been one. It's been in that one.
Man, you know what? I must have.
Not only do your eyes not work, not your ears don't work. You know what, Larry? What was the finale for last season? Let me ask you that.
The finale for last season of Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
I mean, so I got to remember?
Yeah, it was the bird. It was the bird person episode, right? Where he goes into bird person's mind.
That was the finale.
Nah, there's 2
No.
episodes after that. You fucked up, Larry. You fucked up. So you actually, the premiere that you watched was probably the last episode you haven't watched, which is the penultimate episode of last season.
Wait, no, there was a new episode of Rick and Morty that started the new season, right? That's what we're talking about, aren't we?
There was a new episode right now that came out on Sunday.
Right.
And
Oh, wait a minute. No, but yeah, this past Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Man,
Did you
wait,
watch-
when did the premiere start? The first episode of this season?
Sunday.
Just this past Sunday?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I watched that.
I mean, you probably watched something. It probably wasn't that.
Well, I mean, I remember the Cronenberg Jerry, like the one where, like, I watched that episode where they all got separated into their original realities. That was the premiere, right?
Did you
Yeah,
watch?
had Stan Lee in it.
Did you watch Rick with 2 Crows?
Wait. Yeah, I saw Rick with 2 Crows.
Okay.
But answer that question. Was Stan Lee in that episode?
Yeah, with the Cronenberg Jerry.
Were they all in their separate realities? Damn.
Yeah.
You know, I know I watched it when it came on, and I don't know I was a little tired, but I'm pretty sure I would have remembered the Stan Lee thing. I don't know if I maybe walked out the room or something. Was it quick?
Walk out the room. You don't have a pause button?
I got a pause button, but I don't always use it. I don't know what to tell you. I grew up.
What the fuck, Larry?
I watched it live.
Live?
And I know I did. And so I might have been a little tired and missed it, maybe, or maybe
You
I
old
watched
bastard.
I know that I can pause it live still, but I didn't.
Look, all right, let's hit that review music. What are we reviewing? The Rings of Power? All right, I'm done with you.
Damn, I gotta go watch it again. I want to see a Stanley Brick cameo.
Larry. Fucking
Where?
Larry.
Where is it in the episode? The beginning.
Also,
no, more about gel coat.
When the 4th round would...
Don't you call it?
does it look good already? Jumbo Scampi for limited.
Fuck
All
you.
right.
Was he in the new episode? Because everything I see has him at the end of not the end, but end the last episode of last season.
Oh, that
doing
might have
a review
All right.
of the.
All is
Ethan
forgiven,
Gordon
Larry.
stuff.
Look, I don't need any
Fuck, he
forgiveness.
still didn't remember that, and like I don't know how you can forget. Like you can forget what he
I
said.
just watched
but
it
you can't
because
forget that there was a Stanley Rick.
I fucked up and thought that the Birdman was the Bird Person episode was the finale, and I didn't watch those last 2 episodes till yesterday.
I'm like, look, I know I don't
Wait, you didn't
remember
watch
exactly.
You didn't
No,
watch
man.
the last season finale?
Nah, man, there was like 5 weeks in between those episodes. I'm like, I figured I was done. Like that
With
Bird
Evil
Person.
Morty and the infinite
Look,
fight, the final
that-
infinite curve?
I
Oh
didn't
my
watch that.
God.
I didn't watch that till fucking Monday.
Dude, that was amazing.
I know, and nobody told me. That's why I hate you, motherfucker.
Because we assume
Why do we have to tell you that Rick and Morty is good at this point? Why do we have to do that?
No, it's not about that, Larry. I told you.
Oh,
Oh, Larry, I'm cutting your punk ass hair, Larry. Larry, how about that Rick and Morty finale, dude? That shit was amazing. I'm talking about Bird Person episode. You're talking about something else. Don't tell you don't like. Yeah, you don't tell me I was
but
wrong.
we might have been talking about it in between the episodes.
Yeah, we were talking about it in between the episodes, but you agreed with me it was a finale, so that was it. Like I was done. I didn't go back. I didn't try to look at those episodes.
Listen, I don't. Why am I supposed to know if it's the finale or not? Like,
So I don't look stupid. I tried everything.
oh,
I look stupid, but I still did it.
So TV,
I'm
right?
sorry, friend.
It's all your fault.
We'll get you the help you need to not look stupid.
We're
Nah,
talking
fuck
about
that.
TV.
Me and
Listen.
Jason just talk shit all day.
You and Jason Pierce. I will say that Rick and Morty has a tough schedule, like always. Like, you know, like they don't make it easy for you to know when their show is on and when it's not.
And that's why I buy them, because at least, like, you know, it used to be like when you buy the season, it tells you on Apple TV, oh, this will be available. Like they're all the titles are there, but that season didn't do that.
They're like, we got 9 episodes of Rick and Morty this season. And you're like, yay. And they're like, oh, okay, well, here's the first 3, and then we'll be back in like 16 weeks. And it's like, wait, what? That's not it's not a season. If you separate it by 16 weeks, that's like mini season.
Buy Rick and Morty by the decade.
Okay. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. The long-awaited Amazon series that's basically covering the second age of Middle Earth, which is basically the age, or makes it like a prequel to the age of Middle Earth that most people are familiar with. You know, and it is covering primarily, it seems, the creation of the Rings of Power and some other stuff. I know they're condensing the timeline somewhat.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of some diehard Lord of the Rings fans. It's an ensemble. It's an ensemble cast, so you know it has a lot of people in it doing a lot of different things, a lot of different characters. So we're gonna get into it. There'll be some spoilers ahead. So you know, if you don't want to know anything about the show, you know, you may want to go ahead and come back in maybe 20 minutes or so. But you know, we're gonna give you some opinions, and we're not gonna spoil it all. It's only been 2 episodes, so we're just gonna be talking about the beginning of the series as is. But if you've seen it and you have some opinions, please feel free to share with us. We'd love to hear what you have to say too. And with that said, look, I'm trying to think, where should we start? Because, I mean, obviously there was a lot of controversy surrounding this show even before it came out because of some of the casting choices it made, and of course, the condensing of the timeline, like we talked about. What's Tiger Claw saying?
Tiger Claw in chat says, I heard that the Rings of Power is getting a lot of mixed reviews. Some think it's boring, and others complain about it being too woke.
I'm the opposite. I actually think that it is catering to the people that hate wokeness too much.
Why do you feel that way?
Because generally, you're not supposed to tell the difference between a female dwarf and a male dwarf. And here, you clearly see the female dwarf extras. It's like you can tell who's a female dwarf, and I don't like that. I want it. This is like the beauty of Lord of the Rings. Like you literally, like you can goof and laugh at like 2 dudes kissing, but it's like a chick with a beard because you can't tell the difference between male and female dwarves.
So to me, it's catering to the more.
Prince Durin's wife was like, that ain't no female dwarf. Like, I'll pick her up 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, they showed the picture of the one home chick dwarf, and people hated it. Everybody was like, "Oh, I hate it because she's black." Well, I hate it because she ain't got a beard.
Yeah,
like,
she looks like
that's a dwarf. She ain't got no beard.
Hey, look, the black thing I don't mind. You know, the Harfoots are generally darker than the Hobbits, so they had the darker, different shades of skin color in the Harfoots. That worked. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
that ain't woke. That's in fact, if that's woke, then fucking Tolkien was woke in the 30s. If you got different shades of skin color in the Harfoots. Yeah, I mean,
the problem with the show is just that it sucks. Like the people have no idea what they're doing. They try to make like Galadriel. They try to make her like this ultimate badass, intelligent person, and then she does like the stupidest things like it just make no sense. Like I guess we are spoilering, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do some light spoilers. Go
Like
for it.
she's on a boat on her way to the Undying Lands. They get there, and like she jumps off the boat. I'm sitting there going like, what was she gonna do? Like she literally just jumped off a boat in the middle of the ocean. Like she couldn't just land and then get back on the boat and come back. And
She
had to, like,
said she didn't want to go.
she could still leave.
Yeah.
I
Can
don't
she?
think that's true.
Yeah, I don't think that's true either.
It is in the books. I mean, it opens with them saying they left the Undying Lands to go to Middle Earth.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
get that.
Tell me
It happened.
Tell me she can't leave.
No, but that happened because of a war and Melkor.
Yeah, I don't think it's a thing where you just leave and come and it's not come and go.
Yeah.
They don't tell you that.
You don't think she could have stayed
What do you mean she could have stayed?
instead of going into the Grey Havens or Valinor? Like, you don't think she could have stayed instead of just getting on the boat to begin with?
Oh, you saying she didn't even have to get on the boat? Yeah, she didn't have to.
Yeah.
It's poorly acted.
Really?
Did it bug any of you guys that freaking Don Lemon had like the best fucking fade I've ever seen in my life?
Oh yeah, I hated that shit. Like, well, because Larry, come on, you talked about this before. Like, we talked about black elves. Okay, we got a black elf, but why does his hair have to be different than anybody else's? Like,
listen.
that was your criticism at the trailer, in the Super Bowl trailer. Check out our episode. Call Larry and his bullshit. Check out that episode right after.
I'm just saying that, like, what's wrong with him having short hair if Elrond has short hair?
Right, Elrond has short hair. Yeah, I hate that too.
Yeah.
But I don't hear anybody complaining about it.
I complained.
I just did.
Okay.
All
right. I'm just saying. I'm like, it's like where we're talking about is how the black dude's haircut is wrong, but I guess and if we want to be like, okay, we're gonna get there, it's like, okay. I mean, you can say that, but I feel like if I didn't say anything, it may not have come up.
Elfin Blade could cut like this. Look, fuck that. I don't want to call him Don Lemon because I feel that's racist. But that elf.
No, his name is Andrion, I think, or something like that.
But
Arondir. I'm sorry, Arondir.
He went to South Central Erendil to get that fade because they can't do that shit in Gondor. Like he's got a straight up fade. Like, he's clean as fuck. Like, and even Elrond. Like, Elrond is too short. I don't like Elrond's casting at all. But the hair, like, his hair is still like, I mean, you can kind of use an Elfin Blade to clean that up, maybe, It'll glow. It'll glow when you cut too much,
I mean, look, the guy's not getting his hair cut in town. They hated him. So obviously there's like the best barber in all Middle Earth is somewhere in that base, even though we only saw 2 people in that elven base. All the dialogue sounds like high school students trying to sound smart, and like it just
like they're playing Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's just speaking nonsense. A rock can only look down; it cannot see the light above it. Like what the hell? There's a better way to convey that message without.
That's a little
Tolkien rock in the. No, it's not. It's not. No.
It doesn't. It sounds perfectly fine to me. I don't like. I'm just like.
Have you heard some of those songs that he puts in those books?
Yeah, I have.
That's kind of what he sounds like.
It's just a metaphor. Like, what? I don't understand what's so like. Does the metaphor not make sense?
No, it doesn't. There's better ways to say it. I understand. They don't.
I mean, you could if your criticism is they could have said it differently. I'll give you that. But does it not make sense?
It doesn't. It doesn't make sense that he's telling his 10-year-old sister, "Hey, I might not be around soon," or something like that. And I'm like, dude, you're immortal. You're both immortal. What Did you read ahead on the script? What happened? Like, how do you know you're not going to be around? What are you talking about?
He might go somewhere else.
Where's he going to go? They were in the Untitled Lands. They had no plans to leave until the war started, and the war started when Galadriel was already an adult.
And you know, and they breeze through all that. Like that's what I hate. This is where my anger is with it, is the condensed timeline. They just breeze through all of that shit, and it's not, you know. I think the Fall of Numenor can do 2 seasons just on that.
Oh, sure. I mean, you could, but you know, keeping in mind that, you know, that's going to appeal to a particular audience, probably.
What?
And
audience?
I'm not saying
like what audience, Larry? Like people that like Lord of the Rings movies.
I like, that's the thing. I don't like, if you do 2 seasons on just Numenor, I don't know that it appeals to the people that like Lord of the Rings movies necessarily, because even the Lord of the Rings.
Game of Thrones, who the Game of Thrones appeal to, Larry?
Like a lot of people.
No.
But are you saying that Game of Thrones and the Fall of Numenor are similar?
I'm saying
I feel like Game of Thrones is a lot edgier than Lord of the Rings, and I think that to make it seem as if those audiences overlap 100% is not. I don't think.
No,
that's
I'm saying when they made Lord
honest.
of the Rings, they didn't know it was going to be that much of a success.
Okay, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that.
And that's like what I think you would get from a show about the Fall of Numenor.
I mean, okay, hey, if you say so. I don't look. I'm not here telling you that I would love to see it, but I really like Lord of the Rings. So this is the fade here that he can't get.
I'll give this actor.
I mean,
a lot of credit, because
isn't that just short hair?
No,
dude,
it's tapered at the edges.
Okay, I mean, hey, you know more about cutting hair than I do, but you're saying a knife or a blade couldn't do that? Only clippers?
I don't want to say what could do that, and but what could?
I mean, they got straight razors in Middle Earth.
Right, a razor can't do that, and the tools they have that are closer to the third age.
I'll give this actor all the credit, because I believe him and that homegirl, like they need to bone. Like when I believe that she decided to just leave her son all by himself to head off to get some elven dick. Like I believe it, because I saw those two. Like they needed some time.
Yeah.
They needed to work that out.
No, they got good chemistry. Like, and that's the thing. Like, for you to say the acting isn't good in this joint, I'm a little surprised by that, because I feel like the acting is actually really good
between those two.
Look, no,
I mean, I'm just talking about across the board. It's like, and here's the thing. I watched the joint thinking to myself, like, well, hey, there's like literally 30, 40 people in this joint. And because the cast is that big, and they give you all of that, like, right from the beginning. And it's like, I'm waiting for the weak link, and I don't know that there's any, like, everybody in it is good to me.
The weak link is probably like a little bit of the production shit where we could get nitpicky about, which is characterization or things like that. But once they're in it, they're in it. Like, I don't like Elrond's casting. I don't like his look. But when he's talking to, this is episode 2, when he's talking to Durin, Prince Durin, in like just walking into fucking that dwarf town, like I've never seen that dwarf town. I've seen it just in books as drawings and renderings, but I've never seen. Fuck, what's that shit?
I mean, it's in the movies. You've seen it in the movies.
Yeah, but you see it in ruins,
right? And that's the whole point.
And that's the thing. Seeing it flourish, like, to me, seeing that like this, I even told him, like, I can think what I think about the show, but I never got a chance to see this like this. The movie,
and it looked great, right?
It looked amazing. Like the production, that armor that he has with the face on the wood, the dude that with the fade, like that design is fucking tight. You know, like so. I as much as where I have criticisms about the show, they're pulling it off, and they have a 5-year contract, so we're gonna get 5 seasons. You might as well enjoy it.
The design might be tight, but the thing looks like plastic. Like they use the cheap material for
they did.
armor.
So it looks like plastic.
Yeah,
it's the second age. It's the second age.
Oh, they didn't have steel. I understand they don't have mithril yet, but
right. But the thing is the look. It's the look. Like that's the look.
So Jay,
it has to.
Jay,
look it has to look weak because they're in a relative time of peace in Middle Earth right now.
But it has to look weak. It has to look because it has to look like plastic, or is that what you're?
I mean, maybe look if it looks like plastic. I don't care about that shit because I lose that battle every time I use that. The props look shitty. So, apparently, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is tight no matter what type of Nerf guns they use. But
I mean, look,
we're not
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like that shouldn't even be brought.
Look, we're not doing 30 minutes on that. We're trying to get to it.
Like that's a whole different level. Like where it's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't compare to what we're seeing in this show, in my opinion. Like you can tell that there's a lot more money in this than what was happening in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So we don't have to talk about that. But I'm just saying,
Jay,
like,
what was your take on Rings of Power? Your thoughts?
I thought it was okay. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, there are parts where Galadriel is in trouble, and all I could think of is like she's in the game, so I know she's gonna be fine. And I hate how they spell worm.
Yeah.
But
worm?
Yeah. They spell it like worm, like
W-O-R-M, where it should be W-Y-R-M.
Yeah.
With the 2 little dots on the Y.
Yeah, because it's a great worm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that bugged me a little bit.
Yeah, it bugged me a little.
I'm saying, but why? But all you gotta do is turn off the captions, right?
No, because the beginning of the thing, you couldn't even hear anything. Like, without
okay, I'm just saying they didn't make you read that.
Yeah, but I'm missing part of the story if the captions aren't on.
Okay.
Here's the question for you, Lawrence, because you seem to really like it. Explain. It's just there's so many stuff that just didn't make sense. Like,
Wait, real quick. The one other thing I kind of had an issue with was the guy being in his small clothes. I thought that was weird. Like,
which guy?
Because he was like the ball of fire guy when he crashed to the earth.
Radigan?
Oh, you want him to be naked?
I think it would make more sense. I mean, you could kind of give it a pass because the fire wasn't hot, but I think still it would have made more sense for him to be naked.
And Oz, you think that's Radagast?
No, I don't think that Radagast. I actually. The prevailing theory is that that's Gandalf. I actually think it's Saruman, but it could just be a random blue wizard.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. You think it's Radagast though?
Blue wizard. He's a brown wizard.
No, but they're blue wizards too, Mo. Not. He's saying that it's not Radagast. He thinks it's one of the 2 blue wizards.
Okay. No, I get that, but
everybody thinks it's Gandalf. I think it's Saruman, but it could be one of the other guys that we.
I mean, he talked to fireflies.
He killed the fireflies.
Everybody, but I think they can all talk to fireflies. Like, I mean, Gandalf talked to bugs in the movie,
and the coat they put on him was brown.
Well, listen, but that's what they had, right? Like,
that's where the title comes from. That's the origin of the title. Oz, you love that, right?
The origin of the brown wizard.
People who think it's Gandalf think that him hanging out with the Harfoots is why he has a thing for hobbits.
Right.
I think it's Saruman because those Harfoots are getting on my goddamn nerves, and I can see why he would hate hobbits after this.
Oh, jeez. Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
I also thought it was Saruman.
Really? Now, why did you think it was Saruman?
Because he killed all the fireflies.
Interesting.
I can agree with Jay with that. I'll give him that. But
have you all, like, I've definitely heard all the wizards, and then also there are people that are believing that it could potentially be friggin' like Sauron shapeshifting, which, that feels unlikely.
Is the dude in the raft.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Yeah, it's totally him.
Okay, no, that makes more sense. I think that makes more sense than the stranger dude. Yeah,
like that's the one person Galadriel is looking for. So why wouldn't they pair? With like, oh, she found them, but she didn't know she found.
Right?
It's a classic hope.
And how he survived it too. Like he just came out of the
right.
Mist. Yeah.
Right. No, I can see that.
Yeah,
but what were you gonna ask, Oz? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
No. At first, I thought that dude was a Numenorian, but now if it's Sauron, that might actually make the show good.
Okay. But what were you gonna ask, Oz?
It's so many. Like, I wish I could see this with you guys because I got questions. So, Elrond and Calibrimbo, the dude that
Calibrimbo,
whatever. We know him.
I hate like when I heard Calibrimbo, Celebrimbo.
Okay. So they walk to go see the dwarves. How far away is it? Like it's a hell of a journey, right? Like they didn't just.
I don't
walk.
think so.
You think it's a short journey?
Yeah. Relatively short.
Yeah.
Also, too, keeping in mind that here's the thing: they're elves. Like elves are hyper athletic too. It's like
they literally like tell them like time, like they don't understand time in Middle Earth because it's like.
So
like
how far is it? Because you may improve my opinion on it. How long do you think it would take them to walk from where they were to the gate?
Like it could take them the same amount of time it would take you and me. The thing is, for them, it feels like 5 minutes.
Right, but I just want to know a timeline.
Like when Durin and him were fighting, and Elrond, he's like, "Look, you missed my whole life, my whole second act of life. Like where I wanted my friend, you missed it because to you it feels like 5 minutes, but for me it's 20 years. That's a whole lifetime, And that to me like equates like it could take them 10 years to get there. To them, it feels like 3 months.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the actual answer. I'm sure there is one.
Here's my point, because when I saw that, it felt like it was it was a decent journey. I mean, it's not it's not the Shire to Mordor, but it felt like
it's the world map. And
here's the thing: it can't be that far of a journey because they didn't take anything with them.
Right.
That was point one. They had, but look, the elves that were with Galadriel at the beginning are talking about making a camp. I didn't see a goddamn backpack on any one of them.
I do.
They definitely have backpacks. Like, dude, my guy, Oz, you're like hyper nitpicking here, dude. Like you're like. You don't want to like this show
because there's stupid stuff in it. So they go to
they
travel to this place, and then Elrond gets led into the gates, and Celebrimbor, whatever. Home dude is just like standing out there, like, oh, okay. Oh,
no, he told him to go back. He literally says to him, "Go back. Give me 2 days."
I'm like, motherfucker, I walked my ass over here. You're gonna let me in and give me a fucking chair?
At the very least, it's a 2-day walk, right?
No, it's not a 2-day walk. No,
like he's gonna be there. He's gonna go back 2 days.
He's telling him, I need a couple days to see what's going on with my folks. He's like, I don't understand why I don't have the warm welcome I'm expecting. Let me talk to my people, and then you come back, and we'll be good.
Okay, so it's a day away from where they were at.
I don't know. Why do you say that?
If it was a day, they would at least bring some wine.
Yeah, you know,
the way they talk, it's like short for them, a short trip.
Yeah. A little corner of llama's bread lasts a whole day, so they could just have that in his pocket.
Like I mean, I'm like, you know, like there are answers to these questions because you know how detailed Lord of the Rings can be. We all know. Now, here's the thing. None of us are so hardcore that we know off the top of our heads how close these kingdoms are. But they're relatively close, and the thing is, we know that they're relatively close because this is at a time when the elves and the friggin' dwarves they don't have that strained relationship like they have in the third age. And the way that friggin' Elrond was talking.
And even like the elves haven't like spread into the forests of Middle Earth either. Like they're in more concentrated areas. Yeah,
they're in their cities. Like they're not as factional yet. And so it's like they're like, hey, he's over there with friggin' oh boy, like we're just gonna hop over to the city and go talk to my boy in friggin' the Elf Kingdom.
It's like living in LA and your boy lives in Baldwin Park.
Dude, that's
so
drive.
Yeah, listen, Oz, it's not far. Is the whole thing. Like, at least in the show, they make you feel like it's not that far. And now, if you want to mess around and say, oh well, that's like 3 days journey according to Tolkien's map, you can make that argument, and I'm not mad at that because it's like, you know, yeah, then it should have been like a more supplied kind of thing, maybe. Even then, even though they're still elves, like, you know, it's like, and that's the whole thing. Like I will tell you, here's the biggest part for me. Like, what I'll say to you about this show is this: I went to the show, and I was being cautiously optimistic, especially considering it's like, okay, you have all these like hardcore Lord of the Rings fans, and it's not all of them, obviously, but it's a good portion of them that are like, we don't like that this change they're making, we don't like this change they're making, we don't like this change they're making because it's not like the source material. And you all know me, especially being the comic book guy that I am. I'm like, hey, I feel that argument. I want things to be like how the source material is too. So I get it. I have a lot of sympathy for them. And so I'm sitting here like, and you know, not I want to make a distinction. Thank you, Jay. I want to make a distinction where it's like all the cats are like, there shouldn't be any black people in Middle Earth. I'm not with those folks because that's some BS. Yeah. I'm gonna separate those people.
Not true.
It's
also not true.
Right. I want to separate those people from
Tolkien's like actual stuff. Like the race of man, there was definitely races. And they were
absolutely.
Like the Harfoots were a darker tone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all BS. But for that, but the people that are like, oh man, they're condensing the timeline, and like these things don't happen. They happen like, you know, thousands of years apart, and it seems like they're gonna put them all together based on what they're saying. Like those people, I was like, I get it, and they're like, oh, Galadriel looks like she's gonna mess around and be like a warrior, and you know, and it's like, when they're saying those things, and I'm like, the stuff they're showing, I'm like, oh no, I see where they're coming from. I get it, you know. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the show, and we're gonna see what Galadriel looks like and what she does.
They told me then Galadriel's husband too. Like he, at least I didn't see any mention of him.
No. But the fact is,
in the show,
when I watched the show, I was like, Galadriel isn't like. They don't make Galadriel out to be this like amazing warrior. She can fight. She's an elf. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing where it's like, I didn't see Galadriel do anything that felt like she is the best elven warrior. She just fights like an elf does. You know, like as opposed to like say for instance, like she's not Legolas. You know what I'm saying? Like
Actually,
Legolas kicks ass.
She's supposed to be, or probably not like as talented as him, but she's like 6'4". She's definitely above the average elf man in the way she's written. Like she's definitely a thing. She's supposed to be.
Wait, when you say she's above the average elf man, you're talking about she should be a better warrior than Legolas?
Like not Legolas, because he's like hyper specialized. He's like hyper specialized. He's been training all his life.
Yeah.
But
like if you have a society of elves, she could just kick any of their asses. She
according to what the books you're saying?
Yeah, like, according to the all the Tolkien stuff, like she was definitely as good, if not better than the average elf man, is the best way to describe it. Like Legolas has been training nonstop all his life, so you're not gonna outdo, like, training trumps physicality in a lot of cases. But naturally, with her size and natural ability and her royal blood, it's like she naturally is more capable than.
So you don't like this show?
Like, I don't like the show. No, the show's boring.
But what I'm saying is, like, a big
hell too. Like
the books, what?
They're kind of boring. Yeah.
I mean, the books have their slower parts, no question on that. Like but I mean, I think you can say that about many books. Where
I say that about all books. That's why I don't read.
But I guess my thing is, I was sitting here 100, like, cats were 100% on. Oh, Galadriel is Xena warrior princess, and they're trying to make it all extra woke, and she's going to be better than everybody fighting wise. And it's like, when you watch the show, it's like, okay, no, there's definitely a portion where she's out, with her troop, her unit of elves, because they're trying to hunt down Sauron. But realistically, from a fighting perspective, she doesn't do anything extra special. She just fights like an elf.
She takes out that troll.
Yeah, but that's just fighting like an elf.
Yeah, she jumped off some guy's sword to do that, right? Or am I thinking of a different?
Like, yeah, it's like that's the thing. It's like, it looks cool as hell, but when you're an elf, that's what elves fight like. Like, all elves
fought
like that.
That was a fastball special.
What I'm saying is, it's not special for elves. Like, if you were a human, you'd be like, damn, where'd you learn to do that?
Look, I'm not even against it, Larry. Relax.
I'm not saying you're against it. I'm just saying it's not special.
You're yelling at me. I don't like it.
But I'm saying you're saying to me, like, well, but she did this, and it's like, yeah, but that's what elves do.
No, again, I'm not against it, Larry. Like,
then what was the point of even talking then?
I was adding to your point.
How?
She did it like elves.
Okay, thanks.
I just wanted a fastball special joke in there. Like, fuck, forgive me for bringing it back to comics for 3 seconds, Larry.
How dare you?
Woke ass Larry.
Right. So I'm like, but there's nothing that happens in the joint that's like all extra. Like, she's like, when she's not out with this unit, she looks just like how Galadriel's supposed to look, and she acts like Galadriel. Does what? How does she not look like how Galadriel's supposed to look?
All the elves in this look fucking normal. They look like regular people with pointy ears. Like, in Lord of the Rings, when you're introduced to the elves, they're like practically glowing. I think translucent.
The only elf in this joint that disappoints is friggin'
Hauser Elrond.
No. Elrond, look, Elrond is Gilgalad. Gilgalad is the only one where, like, Gilgalad, to be the king of the elves, is like, that's a regular ass king of the elf dude. Like, hold on, I'm gonna pull up a picture. He looks like he could have been in The Office.
He should have had that fresh fade.
Like, look, if you want to talk about a person that shouldn't be an elf, this is the dude that should not be an elf right here. Because this guy, look, this is the king of the elves right here. That guy?
Yeah.
Nah. That's not what the king of the elves look like. Let me show you what the king of the elves look like. I'm going to show you right now what the king of the elves look like. It's like, I was like, get out of here with that. Like, and I'm not even saying the dude can be in the show.
No,
but he should not be the king of the elves.
I'm angry.
That's what the king of the elves looks like.
Yeah,
I'm
he
angry.
should have been young Elrond.
I mean, listen, you can't cast him as young Elrond.
No, not the guy you're showing now. The guy that's the king now.
No, that can't.
No, that guy can't be an elf.
Here's
he
the
don't
thing.
look like an elf.
The plot guy that we know as Elrond is Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
At the very least, the guy that should be young Hugo Weaving should be the guy that played the Red Skull in Infinity War. Like, it's somebody that can kind of hold a candle to Hugo Weaving.
CGI.
Like this Doogie Howser, the parlance of Oz, Doogie Howser, Elrond. Like, I didn't like him, but I want to see him. I want to see him be the king of the elves instead of this dude that looks like he looks like he was in Hot Tub Time Machine or some shit. Like, he looks like somebody that I bought comics from at Long Beach Comic Con.
I will say that I feel like the dude that plays Elrond looks like he could be an elf. Like, he doesn't. And don't get me wrong. I mean, if you want to say, like, I'm not saying that he's, like elves are supposed to have like this stunning kind of beauty thing going on. I'm not saying the dude is like stunning or anything, but he looks like an elf to me. That other guy does not look like an elf.
Not Hugo Weaving and do that youngify thing that they do.
Nah. But look, just get somebody that can sound like him. If they could sound like him, I'll pull it off. Big Man 24/7 in Twitch chat says, "Remember that king elf in the movie?
That is true.
Using a glamour to high scars."
Yeah, but like the hat that was good still looked like that. It wasn't like.
But it's the presence too, man. Like, this guy look. And again, I attribute that to that they're in a relative time of peace. This is like everybody is like half-assing it, you know, because that's what this second age is, like, or at least
like your face is half-assing it.
Yeah, like no, not that king right now. This office.
No, that's what I'm saying. His face is half-assing it. Not the dude that was covering his scars. I'm talking about we're talking about the same guy.
So I'm like, this is what you're getting. This is what you're getting here because they're all afraid. They're all not afraid of the legacy of Melkor or Morgoth, as they call him on the show.
Just quickly to point out, because I'm
which are both really good black metal bands, Melkor and Morgoth separately.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Look, even Amon Amarth is that's Sindarin for Mount Doom. That's look. I don't read books, Larry. You know I don't read books. All this shit I'm talking about, Lord of the Rings, all this experience comes from all the heavy metal bands I listen to.
Fair.
What
are you gonna say, Oz?
I just feel I should mention, especially because I'm the one criticizing it the most. I don't think a lot of people realize that Amazon doesn't have the rights to Lord of the Rings necessarily.
Right.
Like, the only thing they can use is the appendices.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, like, isn't one of the books just like the Succession of Kings? Like, there's a lot that they can't do, and that's why they had to make shit up.
Yeah.
I just personally don't think the people making shit up are good at making shit up. And it's the
let's hope they're better at it than Game of Thrones.
I heard the House of the Dragon or whatever. I heard that's actually like really good. And I think
I watched it. It's fine.
Like, somebody told me
viewership drop off for episode 3 was 28%.
Yeah.
Somebody told me episode 3 is like where stuff really pops off.
I mean, I personally like.
We should definitely rate Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, we still got.
We can get to our other stuff.
Oh, all of a sudden, Jay has nothing to drink. Oh, we got to get out of here. I love you, Jay. It was awesome. It was awesome hanging out. Jay's like, we're at Long Beach Comic Con. Like, that Psylocke has her ass sticking out, and I'm like, oh, where? And and then it was behind a Green Lantern that made us safe. Man, fuck Oz.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there was a Kyle Rayner Green Lantern at Long Beach Comic Con.
Was he a
And
good
this was-
Power Raider?
He was actually built.
Yeah, and
Hold
he
on,
was.
I got to make a
here's the
call
thing.
real quick. Hold on.
He like Larry was like, man, he got the muscle shading like perfect, and then when he walked close to us, it was real muscles.
Yeah.
And
No, this one like had an actual six pack.
he sat down next to Ron Mars. Like
Yeah.
they had a conversation, and it looked
man,
it looked a little something like this.
Oh, you took a picture?
Oh, you got the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, schmack.
I do my pre-production, motherfucker. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then when
man.
he
That's
walked
not a muscle suit. That fool actually looks like that.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, man, fuck off.
But yeah, man. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. Moses Magnum. What would you rate The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power?
I give it a 3. Because of the changes and stuff from the little bit I do know and all that stuff in the condensed timeline. For me, the condensed timeline. For me, it's like, give me a series I could watch till I'm 70. You know, I've been reading comics since I was 5, and I'm continuing reading comics that have been going on since then. You know what I mean? So for me, that condensed timeline, like don't fuck with me no 5-year timeline bullshit. That's some DC New 52 shit. Yeah. So for me, that's the only reason it gets a 3. It does like it makes me want to actually read the stuff instead of just listen to metal bands that tell me about it. So, which is what I don't want. I don't want to have to read books. So that again, that's the 3. But yeah, ultimately, like watching it and enjoyment each episode just for what it is adds another point. So ultimately, Larry, sorry, I misled you.
Allegedly.
Yeah, ultimately, it's a 4 out of 5.
Wow. Okay. All right. Oz, what would you rate Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power?
Should I be worried that my dog's been staring at the wall for 4 minutes?
Nah, man.
Yep. Like he's disgusted by your take.
What are we doing out of 5? I'm gonna say 2.
Yeah.
Like
2. Visually,
it's fine. I can see where the money was spent. The backgrounds look amazing. Visually, it's fine. It's just nothing. It's like 2 episodes, 2 hours of nothing going on, and then you think something's about to happen, and it doesn't. Like the wolf scene, like just nothing. I got nothing. So,
and it was a shitty.
I'm sure at some point this show is gonna ramp up and get there, but I won't be there.
That's fair. Jay, what would you rate The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power?
I'll give it a 3. It was fine.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I give it a 4.5. I liked it a lot. And all the things I was worried about when I actually watched it, I was like, this is fine. Like it feels like Lord of the Rings to me.
Ultimately,
so
like
we've lost Oz.
I mean, the movie took 80 years off of Frodo's having the ring.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. Like
this timeline, like as much as I don't like it, it's not a bad thing. Derek showing his impressive IQ totally got my review wrong and says, so for Moses to like it, the creators would have to forget stuff about the story to get this knowledge level and make the show based on that. And that's exactly the opposite of what I said. Like these metal bands go way into detail of it. They follow it, and that's why I like it. I want them to know more about the real details. Derek, if that is real.
Yeah, no. I feel ultimately we're holding this show to a standard that in retrospect, because I mean, don't get me wrong. At the time when the Lord of the
It
Rings
is
movies
prime.
were coming, huh?
It is prime.
What do you mean?
I mean, look at me. It's prime. That's like in the age of direct to video. That's the directest to videoist.
Okay. Like, I'm just saying, like, I feel like the movies in retrospect, like, are looked upon very fondly. And at the time they came out, there were people that criticized some of the things that they cut, but ultimately, people just ended up loving them. And I think that, this show we might be holding this show to a higher standard than we were holding those movies to, especially considering that it's like, as expensive as the shows are, it's not the same budget.
All right.
Do you think
that comic book music?
Do you think it's an unfair standard, Larry?
Slightly so. Like, I'm not.
Larry,
I'm
come
not
on, give us a finish. Grab your balls and say yes or no. Come on.
No, I mean, it's like, I think this, like most things in life, there's a nuance to it. So I'm just saying, it's like, sometimes in some ways yes, and in some ways no.
In the words of the Almighty Joe, I'm done with you, Larry.
All right, let's do
Did
some
I
comic
say
reviews.
that?
Yeah,
I
no,
remember saying that.
you didn't.
You said it like 4 times.
Because much like Jay, I also have tenure.
Comic book review.
Comic
book like review.
Well, not like that, but like.
Do I have tenure?
All right.
I'm not here because of my looks.
No, you definitely got here because of your looks, Oz. Like, look at that salt and pepper beard. Look at it. Oh, they put a Chiron over it. Sorry.
Derek.
What's Derek saying?
If you don't like this, you're gonna hate the changes that make the Secret Wars. Well, one day at a time, Derek. One day at a time.
Indeed. All right. So first up, Batman: One Bad Day, the Riddler, number 1. This book is basically about the Riddler breaking all the rules. So you have him committing a murder in broad daylight, no clues, and he just puts that out there and waits for the police to come. And it basically turns into him waiting for Batman to come see him while he's locked up. That's the initial premise of this book. But the whole Batman One Bad Day kind of initiative is all about. I should also mention that this book is written by Tom King with art by Mitch Gerads, and the whole idea of Batman One Bad Day is basically different creative teams telling the definitive stories of a number of Batman villains. And so each one is I'm pretty sure, I think they're all 64-page premium kind of books. And and each one features a different Batman villain. This is the first, and it features the Riddler. So with that said, gents, let me ask you all, and Oz, I want to start with you because you're our definitive DC guy. Would you say that does this and you can just for now tell me yes or no, do you feel like is this the definitive Riddler story? This feel like the best Riddler story you've read?
Is it supposed to be the definitive story?
That's what everybody's shooting for. Everybody in One Bad Day.
Issue of 1 of 4?
No, they're all
No. Each one of them are one shots.
Yeah.
Like I know you're coming back in, Mo. The one Bad Day initiative is one shots with different Batman villains. There's 64 pages.
I'm doing a commentary on the issue itself. Like, if for it to be the definitive Riddler story, I think I need at least one more issue. Like, they didn't do enough.
64 pages.
Hey, they didn't do enough in this. Like, you know. Wait,
hold on. Hold on. Let Oz answer the question first, and we'll come to you right next.
Are we spoiling?
Yeah.
I mean, but like keep it light. Like let's let people read it if they want to read it.
Weeks.
But it's like you don't have to spoil the whole thing, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's no spoilers.
Look, let them know how great
don't ruin the ending. Let's say, how about that? Let's not ruin the ending.
Okay, so because you say the definitive story for these characters, but the way this story ends takes it out of that category and puts it more into like, I don't want to necessarily say Elseworld, but that type of like it's a story about these characters. I wouldn't say definitive, especially because of how it ends.
Well, but wait a minute now, because like if just because the book, like, I mean, all these books are not in the main continuity.
Definitely.
Like, right. But like there are definitely people that will talk about, like, say for instance, like The Dark Knight, and think of it as like a very definitive Batman story, but that's not in continuity.
Okay, if you're okay with the fact that it's not in continuity, but still want to call it definitive, I would still say no because of how they explain why the Riddler is into puzzles. And look, I say all this.
You don't like that?
No, I love this story, and I love that. I wouldn't call that the definitive Riddler origin story.
But what would be the definitive Riddler origin story in your opinion then?
It's just he would still be the genius that he's shown to be in this book, but his love of puzzles is a way to mess with people, to kind of lord over people how smarter he is than them. And that's not like, again, I really did enjoy this book, and I like that aspect of the story when they go through that. I wouldn't say that's definitive though. I think that's a good tale to tell, not definitive.
Got it.
If this was a Marvel book, it would have been called The End.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
And I think if you call the title The End, then it's like for the ending for the Riddler, like this is a good one. Yeah. One Bad Day, it seems like there's more to come. You know, it's just one bad day in the week of Batman or whatever. I don't know what the theme is with these one bad day things.
Yeah, they call it one bad day, but there's more than one day in this book.
There's more than one day in this book. There, look, you know, I know the concept of one bad day refers to a villain. Like, it takes one bad day to separate a law-abiding citizen from a criminal, you know? And that's kind of what they go for with it. And it's like, that one bad day Riddler had, like, he had several bad days. And he didn't, like, honestly, I think he's still got a lot of more gusto. Like, he's got a lot more torture to do. And, you know, the murdering aspect and all this. It's like, they kind of, they elevated the Riddler a little bit, but they kind of dumbed him down in a weird way. And, not to take away from the story itself is good, but it's kind of like, this is kind of like what the Batman movie did for the Riddler, where it's like you kind of utilize them, but you don't utilize them as awesome as you can. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it was Riddler at the end, it'd be 5 out of 5. But with the Riddler One Bad Day, look, you have to stick around for that rating.
So, Jay, what do you think, man? Would you say that this is a definitive Riddler story?
Yes.
Yeah, and I know that you have like particular stories of the Riddler that you like. Do you feel like this is a better story than those, or do you feel like
it's not better than Dark City, but I like how they use him in this one. They kind of like put him behind a couple of major story arcs, which is like a pretty cool thing. And it is with the origin is similar to when they redid its origin. I forgot how many years ago that was. Well, with the abusive father and getting like beat half to death for lying. So it's similar to that.
I almost felt like it was an old book when I read it because of what Jay told me he likes about the Riddler I saw here. And that's why I would think, like, this whole, like, with the crow makeup and avoiding it and just becoming, because I know he doesn't like the Saw, the Jigsaw type of killer that they do with Riddler every now and then. And this was like kind of halfway towards that. I was like, yeah, this is, it kind of has what Joe likes, but it kind of has what he doesn't.
I don't know. Like, I guess that might be true, but I actually just really enjoyed this. Like the
execution,
the planning, the fact that he knows enough to make people want to leave him alone. It like really showcases his intellect, even to like the killing the guy, because he just knew. Like, I'm trying not to spoil why he kills the guy, but he does have a reason. And it's because other people he just knows people.
Yeah.
And like I thought this was done like really well. And I do enjoy a dangerous Riddler more than like a kind of clowny weak Riddler. Like say what was that one with Robin in it?
Jim Carrey?
No, I don't think about that.
Damn.
No, the one Batman story with Robin in it, where it introduces Robin, the retelling. Like, I think the book after Long Halloween.
Oh, Dark Victory.
Yeah, Dark Victory.
Oh, there you
he's
go.
kind of just
Batman
like
story with Robin in it.
I know, right? The one with the Batman story with Robin in it. Oh, hilarious! But yeah, Dark Victory. Got you.
Right.
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of like a clown.
Yeah.
Like not really my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love to see him in control. I love to see him making people dance to his making people dance to his rhythm. And then that's what happens in this book.
So Mo, let me ask you this question. Like it sounds to me like, you maybe had a little bit of issues with this particular incarnation of Riddler. What is it that you liked about it, and what is it that you didn't like about it?
I liked all the things that, like Joe said, that he has. I just think I needed maybe another 10 pages. Like
I mean,
was.
You realize it's like 3 comic books long, right?
64 pages.
Hey, I feel there was a little missing. Like,
okay, okay. I mean, hey.
I get like he didn't really do like, he didn't win, and if it's a story out of continuity, like maybe he could win. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Like,
fair.
the definitive Riddler would win, and if you're doing these one-offs, one bad day, like whatever you want to call it,
he's still fighting Batman, you know.
I get it, but
Also,
it's like
I'm just like I don't know if I ever watched Batman actually lose against anyone that wasn't Batman.
Again, this book,
it's like he fought Captain America to a standstill. That was the closest I've seen.
the book is called Batman One Bad Day, the Riddler, : colon.
Colon.
Out of continuity, not Black Label, 17 plus rating. He could win.
I would argue he did win. The Joker would argue he did win.
He probably, yeah. I think Joker probably would say that too
for the same reason.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And don't get me wrong.
Without spoiling.
I don't and I don't think I wouldn't say that, but I do think that probably in a way, yeah. Like Joker definitely would say it, and Riddler might feel that way to a degree. I don't know, but Oz, how did you feel about this incarnation of the Riddler?
Visually, I didn't like the design of him, but it doesn't matter because the way he was written is just amazing. Riddler being 5-6 steps ahead of everyone else, like he has to say one thing to one person and sets off a chain of events that puts him on top to the point that, like, this whole book he's trying to have a conversation with Batman, but cops don't want to put them, like, don't want to call Batman, and like he gets to the point where he's in his full Riddler outfit just hanging out in the yard, like waiting for Batman.
Now when you say, oh, go ahead, I'll continue.
It's just the way he gets there by, like Jay said, manipulating people and being like, this Riddler feels like a threat from the jump. Like he just feels like a threat. And there's moments that I was reading this book and thinking, okay, so like Batman lost. I don't. Even the criminals on the street are saying, "Hey, Batman kind of punked out to the Riddler. We need to respect this dude." They start counting body bags and saying, "Hey, last Black Mask effed around and found out."
Right.
That's
for real.
That's what a guy that smart, that super villainy, like that. That's what I like about Riddler.
Yeah.
You had a question.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say when you say you weren't as big of a fan of the design. I mean, realistically, all you're really talking about is the eye makeup, right? Like you don't like.
I don't like bald Riddler.
He looks like the singer from Tool.
You don't like the Riddler if he doesn't have hair?
It's just a weird look, especially in the art in this. I'm not saying it's not a deal breaker. Like I'm not gonna see a bald.
The art here wasn't good. It only got better because the story was good.
I didn't have a problem with the art.
Was not good.
Really, y'all didn't like it, huh? Like, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's the best art, but I think that it's definitely
I saw the book as like dark, dirty, and gritty, and the art reflects
right. That's how I thought of it too.
There's no reason why a random dude that works with the guy at the beginning needs to look dark and gritty. like he doesn't need to look that messy. Like, I understand, the Riddler scenes and the Batman scenes and the gore scenes. Like, I get those. The guy, it looked like he probably painted over a photo of a friend of his and didn't like filter it right, like for some of these characters. Now, once you get to the Riddler and Batman and all that, then it's good because then it's moody. You get the flashbacks; they have their own color scheme. You have the Riddler scenes have their own color scheme. The Batman had that's all creative and good. But that like in those first 5 pages, I'm like, ugh.
What bugged me about this book, about the art specifically, are the pages where they
you said you have a problem with the art,
where they showed video. And
yeah, that was a little weird. Too.
Just because it like I felt like I needed 3D glasses. The way they do the colors, so it's not really a problem with the art. It's just the design aspect of it. I don't know, was kind of weird.
I see, and it's interesting because I feel like, you know, you talk about the first 5 pages, Moses, and I personally felt like the first 5 pages were like some of the best parts of it, just because I felt it really. No, listen. I'm talking about artistic composition. Like, it really put you into that first person perspective of this person,
right? And that's why the guy that walks into your elevator doesn't have to look like shit.
But he doesn't look like shit to me. And, you know, I get it, you know.
Because you don't see him. You see like
no.
Jay, that guy's face when he walks into the elevator, talking to, like, you don't like that, right?
I don't remember that in particular. I just didn't like the art in general. Just and I get it's supposed to be dark and not noirish, but dark and gritty. But I think I would have preferred something cleaner.
A lot of these people look like watercolor rotoscope and done wrong. And that's where like I didn't like it, you know. And again, once the story moved along, it got better because you start seeing less of that. You start seeing people that you're supposed to recognize. You know, I feel like John Hamm should get royalties because when they show Bruce Wayne, it's like a picture that they watercolored over of John Hamm.
I don't think you look like John Hamm to me, but
my screen.
That's like
a picture real quick.
Well, I mean, I don't have a picture of John Hamm, but is this the dude you're talking about?
Yeah, that guy. Zoom into his face.
That guy looks fine to me.
Zoom into his face.
I don't know how to do that.
But why would we zoom into his face though? Like, it's a comic book photo. Like if you take, like, if I zoom in to something that's supposed to be like on a page over there, it's like, yeah, it's gonna look kind of crappy, right? But
I mean, just so I can prove my point, is I say.
But what I'm saying is, your point should be proven by just looking at the picture.
But clearly, you can't see it, so I need you to zoom in so you can see it.
Well, okay. So what about Jim Gordon's face?
He's got rosacea on his fucking face.
What about Jim Gordon's face and the Riddler's face?
Again, once the story starts progressing, it starts getting better. But you know, then you have the Bruce Wayne scenes. Go to the dude in the elevator.
Like, what's wrong?
Why is his forehead red?
Right there, his nose is
like
red.
I mean, wait. So how do we know he doesn't have a skin condition?
I don't look. Why do I need to care? Like, why does he look like that?
You don't have to care. You're choosing to care.
No, and that's the thing. Like, when you're expressing a story and you put something on a page, you take time to put it on there. It has to serve a purpose. He looks terrible. That threw me off at the beginning.
He doesn't look like it's a mistake. He might have blotchy skin. That's it.
Look, I'm not saying it's a mistake. I'm saying it looks terrible, whatever it is. And
so you feel like the guy's unattractive.
I don't like looking at that. And
when but
when you're showing, if I'm judging an art, I will have to like what I look at, right?
Yeah, but no, I'm not. Listen, you can not like the art. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're saying something like his face doesn't look right, and I'm just like, what looks wrong about it? And you're like, look at that blotch, and it's like,
yeah, but that's what I'm keep going at. That it looks like it's watercolor rotoscope. Like, that's a real person that he drew. He took a picture of, and he painted over it, and it looks like that. It takes me out of the story. It's what makes me think the art. I don't like that piece of art right there. It's same with the dad. When you look at fucking Riddler's dad, he looks like Red Foreman from the '70s show, about to call him a dumbass every time. The dude from RoboCop that said, the main bad guy from the first RoboCop. Like, it looks like him with a fucking mustache, and it takes me out. Like, so to me, that's like, I don't know what Riddler's dad's supposed to look like. To me, that looks like Red Foreman. That takes me out of it. To me, that's bad art when it takes me out of the story. Again,
so you're saying
so when the other guy, when the story gets good, then the art, I don't care about it, because the story it takes over. It's a constant tug of war between the art and the writing here, and to me, that diminishes a book.
So
Okay.
yeah, you ready to rate this?
No, I still have to show you John Hamm, Bruce Wayne. I'm still looking for it because it is a 64-page book.
I can bring it up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're past the 2-hour mark, and we got another book to review.
That doesn't look like John Hamm to me.
You want analysis? Like, what do you want from me, Jay?
I want you to rate the book so we can move on.
It's a 4 out of 5. It's good. It has shitty art. Loses a point. All right.
Oz, what's your rating?
5.
They're right there. Fucking John fucking Hamm.
This one specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
And that takes me out of the.
And this is Skinny Gail Simone.
So we're gonna so there's one panel of Bruce Wayne that resembles John Hamm, and you're gonna be like that's the problem.
It happened throughout the whole book. You just didn't see it at the time.
Dude, we just literally went through a whole thing. At the funeral, you don't look like John Hamm.
Hey, Jay has to get to work. Rate the fucking book. I said my piece. You saw my picture. All right. Jay has to get to work.
What'd you rate it, Oz?
5. It's a good book. It's worth reading. I wouldn't call it definitive, but I'd still recommend it.
Jay, what are you gonna rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 5. Despite the art, the story was phenomenal. Love me some Dangerous Riddler.
I'm gonna give it a 5 too. It's awesome.
He literally ripped off scenes from Mad Men in these 2 panels up here.
5 and a 4. All right, let's talk about Amazing Fantasy.
This whole panel is a waste of space. Nothing's happening.
Hey! Again, I'm wrong.
Sorry.
I'm wrong.
Okay, I'll stop.
So, Amazing Fantasy 1000 is a celebration of Spider-Man. You have multiple stories of him from different periods, different walks of life. There's an Amazing Fantasy number 15 reference. Spider-Man fights crime with his ass out. And he gets asked the question that I think a lot of people have been wanting to ask him. If you have mediocre power, does that come with mediocre responsibilities? And he doesn't answer. He kind of just lets it go. But it's a damn good question. So, like I said, you have a who's who of artists, writers, Neil Gaiman. That's the one off the top of my head. He has a self-insert story. Mo, you are the premier Spider-Man fan here. Don't do that. Unless you're about to start swinging webs, stop that and tell us what you thought of Amazing Fantasy 1000.
To hear what I gotta say, it's over 2 hours. 5 out of 5.
Awesome, Larry. What do you have to say about this story? What do you think? Art, story?
Well, listen,
Go.
there's a lot to unpack here, obviously, because and I feel like we're probably gonna need at least another 45 minutes to do it.
I
So
will not be here for that.
everyone strap it. No, I'm joking. We don't need 45 minutes, but I mean, there's a lot of different creative teams that um, are a part of this book, and a lot of different stories. Um, yeah, I like it's awesome. I think that the book, because you're talking about, which I don't even know, is it 6 stories or 8 stories? I don't even know, or it might even be 9. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're over 2
but,
hours.
but the fact of the matter is that it has its high points and its low points. And I feel like they may not necessarily be the places that you might
8
think.
stories.
8 stories. Okay, that feels right. But all in all, overall, I think that the book, like if you're a Spider-Man fan, I feel like this book is hard to dislike, just because it has like a lot to offer, and I think everybody comes to it with the idea of trying to best honor the legacy that Spider-Man is. And so it's just a matter of like how they do it and how they choose to package that take. And the fact of the matter is, like, what you like and what you don't like is all going to be a matter of your own personal taste. So I would say, I would ask you all, like, what's like what were like, I know we only got a little bit of time, so what was the high point and the low points in regards to the book for each of you? Like, what story did you like the most, and which one did you like the least? You feel comfortable starting us off with that, Oz?
Yeah, I guess. I like the
Okay.
old man Spider-Man story.
Yeah, that was a
That's
good
the one where
story.
he fights crime like with his ass hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Least favorite? I don't know, probably the what was it with the Queen? The Egypt one.
Yeah.
It just that felt like it dragged on a little bit to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I loved the story right after that with the Council of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot more good stories in this book than bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Jay? What was your favorite and what was your least favorite?
My favorite was a tie between Spider-Man with his ass out, and with mediocre power comes mediocre responsibility. Not really any low points for me. I mean, maybe the Just Some Guy, but even then, that goes to just emphasize Spider-Man as a street level hero.
Yeah.
So, not really. I don't think a low point for me. Any low points?
Okay. What about you, Moses? Come on, look, we talking, so you might as well talk there.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
I'm sure the people would love to hear your take, Mo.
I like it.
Really, man?
I like it. Hey, it's over 2 hours. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, man, like it's the I know for me the high point was a kind of a tie for me, either between the Dan Slott and Jim Chung joint with the where they're the 60th, or basically with Spider-Man being an old man, like just like that level of respect that everybody has for him is just like, it's amazing, and definitely like damn near a tearjerker. It's either between that or the Hickman Chiquetto joint, which is like the inner, like the Council of Spideys or whatever, the Council of Peters. Like that joint is an awesome story too. So it's either one of those two. And then the low point for me was definitely the Neil Gaiman joint. Which, like, I feel like both Neil Gaiman and Steve McNiven didn't necessarily bring their A game to it, which is kind of sad, just because I know they both are amazing, but I don't know if it was a time issue or what. I mean, part of it I think is him placing himself into it a little bit, which which can be done well and is not that by itself, but just something about it, like, it felt less of a Spider-Man story to me and more of like a Neil Gaiman story. So they're just like, well, I guess we'll take that. Right. That's what Mo said. So, yeah. But, I mean, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, you should definitely pick up Amazing Fantasy 1000 without question, because it's a good book for people that are fans of Spider-Man. So, Mo, you already rated it? You want to give us your rating again? There it is. Five out of 5.
Yeah, just rewind.
Just rewind. Okay, there it is. Oz, what would you rate Amazing Fantasy 1000?
4. It's a good book. I didn't love the whole thing, but there's enough to really enjoy it.
Yeah. Jay, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. Overall, very enjoyable. Lots of coolness.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give it probably 4.5. I really enjoyed it. And, the parts that I really liked. And, there might have been a couple of not only of stories that I didn't like as much, but also too, I think a part of it was something like this, when you have like these like superstar kind of cast kind of things. It's like, it would have been nice for there's some people I would have felt like I would have liked to have seen included that weren't there, both art and writing wise. And so it's like, okay, it would have been cool if those people were a part, but hey, you got to make editorial decisions, and I get it. So, but 4.5. All right, let's get out of here. Uh-oh. You got the music, Jay? Lower. Okay, sheesh. All right. Oz, why don't you give some final thoughts, man?
If you want to get a good look at my package, there's a video coming up soon.
Indeed. Jay, final thoughts.
Lovecraft had a cat named Nigger Man.
Okay. Mos Magnum, final thoughts. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. If there's anything that you want to see, anything that you want us to talk about, please hit us up on social media. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want us to talk about. Until then, we are the Fantastic Forum. Good night.
We might just have time for it.